Welcome, wonderful people, to the Sunday rune and card reading, and what a very special reading we have. I have some really beautiful sort of energy as I was preparing from both lavender and desert sage. Sage cleanses, it literally changes the ions in the air so that it shifts us from being in a potentially challenging space to a space of calm. It releases negativity. And lavender is an extraordinary healer. It travels to the place where it is most needed in terms of healing and transformation. I was really drawn to those two herbs when I was setting up, and also during the week I have been drawn to feathers. Sometimes I find I wake up in my dreams and I'm literally shown whatever those energies are, the crystals or whatever the guidance is that we're going to be tuning into. This week that didn't happen, and I sometimes, again, when I'm walking in nature, find that a particular tree or a plant or a herb will be speaking. This week I found myself, as we move through the week, finding feathers, and I kind of knew then that that's what we would be working with. This was the first one that I actually found in some woodland. Very, very beautiful. This is actually this is a red kite feather actually. There were kites flying, circling above when I found this, and calling to one another. So very powerful message coming through. We're also going to be using a crow feather and a woodpecker feather. The crow feather came later in the week, the day after, and I already had the woodpecker feather, so it was really drawn to that for its message. We're going to be using 5 different packs of cards as well, but let's first tune into the messages and the guidance that these particular feathers symbolize. So reading number 1, we are going to be guided by the crow feather. Now crows are they are the most extraordinarily intelligent creatures. They have a highly sophisticated society and a culture. They are said actually to travel between the worlds. It's why sometimes people associate them with death and with the dark side of things. Actually, they unite both the light and the dark. They can travel in between worlds. That's the energy of them. They therefore bring us vision, as in the things that we need to see. It's interesting because they help us to transcend effectively. They are all about transformation. They help us to transcend limitations, to literally bridge those gaps between maybe the place we're in and the place we're needing to get to. So there's a huge amount of transformational energy associated with the crow. So that is the connection to reading number 1. Now reading number 2, we are going to be guided by the woodpecker. This is a woodpecker feather that came. I actually have a pair of woodpeckers that come into my garden, and I presume they have been nesting and mating, but I have a pair. They are absolutely wonderful, very vibrant. And woodpeckers, for me, they speak to us of durability, of resilience, of determination. You know, when they are pecking away, when they are, you know, they are workers, they're real grafters. They also know how to manage and conserve their strength. You know, they won't go on relentlessly when they don't burn out. They conserve their energy. They know when to push forwards, when to persevere, when to find that determination to keep going. They also know when to stop. And so they are a magnificent bird of great resilience and strength. So that is the connection and the message that's coming through with reading number 2. Reading number 3, the red kite feather, we are really connecting in with the energy of the eagle. It's an energy that speaks of being able to have a higher vision and yet a sharp vision. You know, an eagle can soar above and see the bigger picture, and yet also pinpoint something on the ground at the same time with real clarity. The energy of eagles speaks of a clarity. It speaks of grace, the kind of grace that is received through knowledge and hard work. They speak of new beginnings. They are associated on a medicine wheel with the space of the east, the rising of the sun, a new dawn. They allow us to step back, to stand back, to see where we need to move to next, and also they bring us the courage to take actions that align with a higher vision. So that is reading number 3. Little bits of lavender popping up all over the cards. The cards we're going to be using this week, 2 sets of tarot cards. We have the Mythic Tarot. We also are going to use the Nordic Tarot. We're going to be using the Keepers of the Light pack, the Moonology cards, and also the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. So 5 different packs of cards in these readings. So wonderful people, I'm going to move things around so that we can draw the cards, and of course we will be drawing from the runes as well. So wonderful people, we will draw from the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards first. What I should also have said, and forgive me for this, aside from welcome and thank you so much for joining me, if you want to just fast forward to the readings, you can of course do so. The timestamps are in the information box below, and they're also in the comments as well. Now we're going to draw just one card from this particular pack. We are then going to draw from the Mythic Tarot. Again, one only I'm hearing here. We are then going to draw one again from the, these are the Moonology cards. Lovely pack of cards. From the Keepers of the Light, one again. And then lastly, the Nordic Tarot. I'll do one again. That's what I'm hearing. Now we will also draw from our wonderful, wonderful runes. And yes, it will be more than one rune, I think. Let's just place these up here. Two runes. Okay, this is there's a really interesting energy here. I just wish to share this with you guys. There's quite a sense of anticipation. I mean, I know we have that in a reading anyway, but it's quite heightened here. Sometimes there is an energy of, you know, sometimes when we're working maybe with angels and crystals, there can be a real sense of peace, but there's some kind of an anticipation, like an energy that's rising up here, which is quite interesting because, of course, working with the spirit guidance of birds, of the feathers, of course, they are often symbolized in so many ways. In fact, each of these are symbolized in some way with the transformation of something, whether it's perseverance, persistence, determination, whether it's seeing that higher vision, whether it's transcending, you know, journeying between two worlds, transformation, transcending limitations. So yeah, there's something very powerful. Again, I'm hearing new beginnings for reading number 3. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for joining me for the additional kind of messages that are coming through, and thank you for joining me as we've drawn the cards and the runes. And wonderful people, I will see you in the readings. Guys, do look out for the announcement soon. I will be announcing the winners of our monthly draw for the month of November. We're now in December, of course, and as I announce that, we will be giving away not only some packs of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. We're going to, as we are moving towards Christmas, we will be giving away the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon diary and journal as well, and a standard pack of the Art of Manifestation cards, as well as a first limited signed edition as well. So wonderful people, I look forward to seeing you in the readings. You may wish to pause the video, just sit with this, go with whatever is feeling right for you, trust your intuition. See you in a moment. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 1. Let's have a look at our runes first of all. So you have the rune of wholeness. This is the path you must follow. This speaks of, it's interesting because it speaks of regeneration, actually, transformation, really tuning into the energy of the crow. There is some really huge transition or transformation taking place around you. I'm just working out where to place these. I think just up here, actually. We also have the rune of nourishment, of possessions. Whatever the transformation is, I feel like something's going to arrive, something's coming to you, something is, I want to say, share your good fortune, remain humble. This is the path you must follow. It's as though, I almost feel as though something you have invested in is about to burst forth in some way. But I also, it's quite interesting, I'm seeing a kind of a, it's like, it is this energy of the crow. You're stepping from one kind of space to another. There is an in-between space that you need to step over or step through in order to reach, in a way it's like a completion, but it's not. It's like a reward. It's like, it is a space of nourishment, of rewards known. It's interesting, you may need to meditate on something that is around you in order to move through to a new space of being. But the outcome is really favourable here, and remain humble in your success. This is what this rune speaks of. Okay, so our first card we have is a card from the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards, Dislike of Others. It says, sometimes we form strongly negative feelings towards others. In truth, it is not them that we dislike, but their words, their actions, and their behaviour. This card asks you to try to detach from the experience of their behaviour and see them as a soul on their own unique pathway, attempting to manage their own challenging life lessons. I think that's the energy of something that I'm seeing, that you're needing to transcend, move beyond. It's as if there's a block. What is interesting is it's followed by the Six of Wands, which is a card of victory. Now this is interesting because it's not just a card of personal victory. This is a card of recognition from others, validation from others. So this pathway you must follow to nourishment, to possession, to having. There is success around you, but there is something about almost transcending or disassociating from something or someone who doesn't really resonate with you. It literally is this in-between space where you move between the worlds. You're no longer tied by something or somebody else's attitude that has previously been holding you back. You are going to emerge, and you emerge successfully. This Six of Wands is a card of victory, but it's a very specific kind of victory. It means that you've achieved something, and you are seen to have achieved it. You rise above. So if there's like a family dispute or something that's holding you back, the pathway you must follow is the pathway of wholeness. It's the pathway of integration, of awareness, of holding that, I want to say holding the higher vision, but it's holding the clarity. It's coming out of darkness into a space of light. It's holding the light in a way that others can then follow. This is like leading by example. That's what's coming through. Expect powerful change. There's a major shift going on around you. These cards are lovely. The Shekinah, the Sacred Self, and the Page of Cups. Playfulness. Now, fascinating new moon eclipse as well. Expect powerful change. Of course, our next major moon is a new moon eclipse in Sagittarius. It is all about shifting into a space of higher vision. I will be uploading a new moon ceremony, probably with some runes or cards for each sign, but very, very powerful. I don't think there is a more powerful new moon of 2020 in terms of initiating those desires, wishes and dreams and intentions that we wish to manifest in the world. Really, really is for me the new moon of the year, and of course it's an eclipse. So new moon eclipse, very powerful time of opportunity. I think you really get to let go of something that has kind of clung to you in the past. It's got in the way almost of your own energy, you know, but there is real acknowledgement and recognition coming your way here. Now the Shekinah speaks of the sacred self, but this is a card of the feminine, interestingly enough. It says, unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. Now, the Shekinah is said to be the counterpart of the Holy Spirit, the feminine aspect of the Holy Spirit. Beautiful dove of peace here. Her energy is the energy of that higher vision, of walking in the light, but also of not holding back. This speaks of really stepping up. It's like this is not a time to hold back. This is a time to be the best version of you. I feel as though you are about to act in a way that transforms something of your former self. You let something go, you step up, and you become a beacon of light for others in doing so. The Page of Cups, again, in this particular pack, I mean, it speaks of playfulness, but this often speaks, it's like it heralds a time of good news, of something really positive, powerful and beneficial coming to you. Connecting in with the rune of possessions and nourishment, it's almost like, again, I feel as though if you've been working at something internally, that suddenly begins to manifest itself externally. There's a spin-off from your internal world into the experience, the outer stuff that you are now visioning in and drawing into you and manifesting. The Page of Cups in this pack of cards speaks of good news. It can speak of the birth of a baby, the birth of something you've been manifesting. It can speak of a new love relationship, or of a relationship that finds a new cycle of being, but it will be a higher cycle of being. It speaks of the arrival in your world of something good, something joyful, and it does really contain some energy of, it's not just playfulness, but for me it contains something of that energy of purity, is what I want to say. That's what's coming through. You know how children have an ability to be pure in their approach to life, and as a consequence they are a vessel for receiving the good, providing they haven't been too sort of cramped or stifled. For some of you, I actually do think you renew, you let go of something, you lay something to rest, you transform, and in doing so you discover a source of profound empowerment that creates a shift. And what I am seeing is literally a shift in your external world that comes because you've done the internal world. You have transcended. You've moved from a space where there was perhaps a lack of vision, and indeed I think you've walked through a period of uncertainty as well, but you move into a space where there is a clarity of vision that comes to you, and whatever the gifts are, there's real acknowledgement and validation from others that you are deserving of the space that you are in. So expect powerful change because of the timing of this Sunday reading. You know, okay, we're not quite at the we're not quite yet at the new moon eclipse, but you know, we're not far away from it, and I think this is going to possibly herald, this is like a almost like an advance notification of the herald of that shift, with an invitation to lay something to rest. You are really stepping up into a space. It's like you're coming of age, and I say that with no connection to any specific age. We can come of age in a phase of our growth at any time in our life. You know, we could be little and come of age in our years. You know, we can be, 50, 60, 70, 20, 30, 40, and we can come of age in some way. There's some sense of realization of emergence into a new way of being. And I want to say big respect. December is an extraordinary month of in-betweenness, which again the crow marks, the crow feathers mark, where we are engaged in a pivotal shift, where we enter, I think, the beginning of a new dawn and a new age. And it is as though you guys, I want to say, you're absolutely ready for that new beginning in terms of your own capacity to manifest through self-awareness and through the work that you have previously done. This is definitely a time to step up, but I also want you to enjoy the stepping up. This is not a reading that speaks of seriousness in your stepping up. There's a lightness because you throw something off that used to burden you or tangle you up. You throw something off, you let go of it. There's a joy in this reading. So I want to say celebrate, congratulations wherever you are emerging, whatever you're emerging from and whatever you are stepping into, and whatever comes to you, it is much, much deserved. Celebrate, enjoy, literally enjoy the moment. It feels as though this is very much a new beginning for you. Wonderful people, and big respect, because to get to this kind of stage in a journey is awesome, and it means you've done the work. So big respect and so much love to you. Namaste. Don't forget, wonderful people, as well, if you want to be in the monthly draw, do please subscribe. It's a subscriber offer. You'll need to subscribe, click the little bell icon, and also join the subscriber email list below. That way you will be in every monthly draw from now on. Yeah, and welcome to, if you haven't yet subscribed, welcome to this amazing community. And to those of you who are already following these readings, thank you for your love and support, and just sending it right back at you. So much love. Namaste. Welcome to reading 2 with the wonderful energy of Woodpecker. Perseverance, determination, durability, courage, moving forwards, but also knowing when to conserve energy as well. A lot of wisdom in this little feather. It has a lovely, sort of quite dynamic energy around it. Okay, so your first rune is the rune of signs, the rune of signals, synchronicities. This is really always inviting us to pay attention to the unexpected. Look beneath the surface, see what's actually going on. If something happens that feels like an interruption, trust that it is showing you the way. It's coming with purpose. So really powerful rune. I always love the synchronicity. For me, this is the rune of synchronicity. And we have the rune of joy. This is suggesting a beautifully positive outcome to something, finding clarity. Now this is interesting, the two together, because I would say if we are receiving the rune of signs, which says pay attention to the unexpected, be aware that you are being shown symbols, signs, opportunities that may not be, completely clear. It asks us to be particularly alert. Now the rune of joy, having these two show up together, the rune of joy is really out of darkness into light. It's like a new dawn. It's finding clarity. It's knowing where you're going, having something illuminated, coming out of the fog, but actually with divine timing, which of course the rune of signs also speaks of divine timing. There is definitely a bigger picture around you. I know there is always, but you know how sometimes we become really quite acutely aware of that? There is a bigger picture taking place around you. Signs, signals, synchronicities that are leading you into a space of clarity, and also leading you in a direction that will be fruit-bearing. This is a rune of promise. Joy is literally, I almost always see a new dawn, the sun rising. So very, very powerful, particularly with this feather of perseverance and continuing with something. Okay, so our first card, giving and receiving. Give and take is different to giving and receiving. Taking and receiving are not the same. When we take, whoever we take from may or may not have chosen to give. However, when we receive, choice and respect are an integral part of the exchange. Let go of any need to take and embrace the harmony of giving and receiving. Now, I am receiving a really clear message with this card, which actually is reinforced by the Queen of Pentacles here. I think you are being asked to not to try and make something happen. I think perseverance and durability and resilience are required. But it's as though you're being asked not to try and force something to happen. You do need to take action, you do need to persevere, but it's that kind of leaning into a space where the way is shown. You can't try and That's where the taking is coming in, as opposed to the giving and receiving is a real balance of being able to lean into a space of trust and allow yourself to receive the guidance that in turn will show you. It's almost your next stage of contribution is really what I'm hearing. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is interesting to have here. I mean, you also have, look, meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces, Odin, psychic insight, which again is also, I mean, Odin is the bearer of the runes, the creator of the runes, the carrier of the runic alphabet. So, the runes are very powerful here in terms of telling you, there is, I want to say, positivity. We have, again, Page of Pentacles, new experiences coming in. Now, the Page of Pentacles here is indicating, again, a positive outcome, something coming to you. I think you're going to get a clarity of direction. You may actually be at a stage in your world at the moment where you've been questioning either which way to go next. There is this essence of perseverance. You've been really, I want to say, working really hard at something, and yet you're not quite sure whether the direction you're going in is the right one. Now, I'm sort of hearing this, feels a bit paradoxical, I would acknowledge that, but it's like this sort of persevere and keep going, and yet be alert to signs, signals, synchronicities that show you how to tweak your direction, how to literally, these signs and symbols, I think, are going to be all around you. If you're too dogged in your direction, if you're too determined to remain on the same path, I mean, it's like woodpecker. Woodpecker will, chip away. I notice them on the tree outside in my garden when they come to visit. They will, chip away to get at an insect. But if something isn't working, they'll just move to another spot. They don't persevere with something when it's not working. They know, they just know instinctively when to move on. There's an energy around you of needing to both continue and persevere, and yet allow yourself to be shown and given direction. Receive guidance. That's what I'm really being shown. And as you receive guidance, the way will become clear. Now, I think we are in the middle of eclipse season now. I think you guys are very highly attuned to your own kind of psychic insight here. Listen to your dreams is what I'm being told. Meditate, contemplate, open yourself to receive guidance, open yourself to the signals that you will be shown. I do actually believe that there is going to be a clarity shown to you. There is some emphasis here on either your calling, your career, or some aspect of your kind of, I want to say, your material life. This could also connect to your home. There's something about the immediacy of your world, your career, your finances, your possessions, your home. But something is going to become clear, and I believe you may well also receive some kind of a gift, but that gift may actually be the insight that brings you the clarity of direction that you need. I do believe you are going to be literally shown the way. Now, bearing in mind these are weekly readings, so if you are listening to this on Sunday, or whenever you tune into this, I'm a great believer we find the right reading at the right time. I can sometimes go back and tune into a reading that took place a year ago, and I'll tune into it, and I can guarantee, as long as I'm trusting my intuition, the right reading will be speaking to me. You guys have a heightened intuition at the moment. Meditate, lean into the guidance that you're shown. I do feel there is divine timing around you, and you may find that there is a pivotal opening. It's not a shift as such, but it's an opening that allows you to see exactly the direction that you are needing to take. It's like step by step being shown the way. I do feel as though there is a profound sense of guidance around you. I am finding myself sitting with this reading. I feel like I am really in a bubble of light, and it's kind of streaming down. I'm tuning into the energy of the lavender as well. Lavender goes to the place it's needed. It takes its healing energy to the place that it's needed. There's something about you receiving receiving guidance, receiving signals. Just literally, I'm wanting you to be open and to lean into a space of trust. Listen to your body as well. If you're facing a decision and you're not sure which direction to go in, don't be in a rush, and yet I want to say continue on your pathway, and yet don't be in a rush. Really stop and smell the roses, because it's in those moments that I think inspiration and clarity will come. Listen to your body as well. You know, Queen of Pentacles, wonderful, wonderful kind of sensual, physical energy. When we have a decision to make, we can sometimes again sort of meditate into the vision of what those choices would be like. It's like imagining, if I said yes to this, how would my life look? If I said yes to a different alternative, how would my life look? Lean into the vision of that, the dream of that, if you have a decision to make. And as you lean into it, listen to the way your body feels, because your body will bypass any aspect of your ego mind, and your body will not lie to you. It will tell you the truth. And if you feel any aspect of tension, or indeed you feel liberation and joy, it will make clear to you the direction that you need to go in. Your body will bring you the signs that you need. That's definitely relevant for some of you who are in a process of making decisions. Take time. The insight that you need is available to you, and you are stepping into a space of, I think also for some of you, it's a new experience to trust that you can actually do this stuff, and that you can continue on your pathway and be shown the way at the same time. You don't have to constantly hold a fixed goal or a fixed direction. There's something very powerful about moving into a new space where you are navigating your life differently. And I want to say this is a key source of future empowerment for you. It really is. Fascinating, because as I'm tuning into this, right in front of me in my alignment of crystals that I have around on my desk, I'm really tuning into a piece of raw carnelian. I'm just going to pick it up because carnelian speaks of courage. It's an amazing piece of stone, this. It speaks of resilience, durability. It's a profoundly powerful, has a profoundly powerful energy, which I personally associate very much with the energy of woodpecker. It's also a stone that I think commands us to be both grounded and present, and yet continue on our pathway simultaneously. So there's something about the energy of this reading that says continue, persevere, be resilient, but also make sure you take full advantage of your higher self, your psychic insight, everything, the signs, the signals that are being shown to you, the guidance that is available. And as I said, if you're unsure, meditate into the experience and listen to your body. I believe things, I mean, this can sometimes herald the moving of houses, the gifts of things coming to you. And the rune of joy speaks of being carried across the gap by the wings of heaven. So I think something is going to really, really come to light and emerge in terms of your direction. It's just that you are in this moment, being shown, I think, various alternatives and definitely guidance as to which way to go. So much love to you. Thank you so much for joining me, wonderful people. I do love doing these Sunday readings, and I know some of you are really, following them week by week, and thank you so much, because it's just magical to know that they are reaching people. If you want to be in the monthly draw for a free private reading to win a pack of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards, or indeed one of the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon diaries or journals, it's a subscriber offer. You will need to subscribe and press the little bell icon if you wish to get notifications, and also join the subscriber email list. The link is in the information box below, and I'll also put it into the comments for phone users. Wonderful people, tons of love to you. This feels as though something exciting is emerging here. So yes, keep going and listen. Awesome. Tons of love. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 3, and we have the absolute blessing of the red kite feather, the energy of the eagle, the higher vision, being able to stand back, have an overview, see something clearly. The growth that comes through literally the integration of our experience, of our life experiences that give us the wisdom to be able to see, to hold that higher vision. Let's look at our runes. We have the first rune, which is the rune of fertility. Now this requires completion of beginnings, so something needs to be wrapped up in order to move forwards, but it's a fruit-bearing rune and a rune of promise. We also have the rune of journey. This is interesting because the rune of journey, now this can speak of literally journeying, or taking a journey physically. Usually, more often than not, it's asking us to journey inwardly and to look at any obstacles within us that might be holding us back in some way. Let's have a look at our cards. So our first card is forgiveness of others, which would suggest that maybe there is the energy of somebody or something that's still niggling you. That's what I want to say. Now this card says forgiveness does not mean that something bad that happened to us was okay. Forgiveness means that we ourselves choose to move beyond the experience and to release any ongoing need for retribution. In doing so, we no longer need to keep the memory of what happened alive within us. This choice reinstates our entitlement to be in charge of our own lives. This for me is a really important card. It had a lot of resonance for me, simply because I think when I first started listening to my internal dialogue, I realised how much there was this sort of going over and over things in the past that really I couldn't change. And so this is pretty important. There's something about putting something down. 5 of Pentacles, again, this speaks of transition, sometimes of loss. This says, we then have the Moonology card, adjustments are required. 3rd quarter moon. Isis, magic manifesting. This is lovely. Your dreams, visions and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. We also then have the card of the Tower. So changes are around you. The energy of change is around you. I feel as though for some of you there's a wobble. The energy of change is around you. You are actually, as the Tower speaks, and indeed Isis, magic manifesting, you're building a new foundation. You are entering a new phase. Change is happening around you. The old has been, that's the energy of 2020, isn't it? The destructuring of many things and structures that we knew, but they are destructuring with purpose. And it's interesting because it's from the destructuring that we then rebuild, we recycle, we build upon where we've come from. Isis, magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. I feel actually for some of you guys, and this is interesting, completion of beginnings, I feel like something has happened that has pressed some of your buttons, basically. That's the energy of this reading here. Adjustments are required. Now the adjustments, I want to be really, really clear about this because I'm being shown a very clear, direct road in front of me. The adjustments aren't to your vision. The adjustments that need to be made are to whatever has pressed your buttons and whatever has surfaced and niggled you. Okay, it's not that your fundamental process of manifestation needs adjusting as such. I think your vision and your goal and the things you wish to bring forth are happening. The changes are around you anyway. It may be that within the changes that you are having to let go of someone or something. And that in itself is somehow, it's stirred something up. That's what I'm being shown. It's as though something has been stirred up within you. And that in itself is almost, then there's a fear that somehow energetically that opens, it's almost some repeated thinking patterns that say, well, I can't have that, or my, whatever I'm manifesting will never come forth. So something has been stirred up that has caused you to revisit something that really actually needs to be let go of. You're revisiting something, some old difficulty or a hurt, or I think for some of you it could be a relationship. For others it could be something that took place financially or around you know, your possessions, or it could even be an attitude or an inner belief, but or maybe an attitude or inner belief that is being replayed again. Because somebody has pressed your buttons. Something basically has been dredged up. That's what I'm being shown. Now, the dredging up can serve a purpose here. You know, don't get emotionally tangled in this. The more clarity you can see this with, the greater there is an opportunity to leave it behind. And this is what these cards are really saying. It's time to let it go, leave it behind. Journey within, notice whatever blocks you have. It's time to let them go. This is quite a big completion. Something has been stirred up. You've already initiated some sort of change. You're already making adjustments here. The changes are taking place. You're in quite an active phase of co-creation in terms of manifestation. Don't lose sight of your dreams. The magic is manifesting. Remember, the rune of fertility is a rune, it's a fruit-bearing rune, and it's a rune of promise. The things you have initiated will and are coming to fruition. Indeed, the changes that you've initiated, the changes you desire, and the new foundation you're building for yourself are coming. The adjustments are needed here because, yeah, something has been dredged up. And it's within that dredging up that you are actually able to put something down. And I want to say once and for all, I mean, this is this incredible blessing of the eagle, having the grace to be able to, it is like literally sitting in a space of grace where we let go of stuff because we know it no longer serves us. We don't have to sit in that place anymore. We are the new beginnings of the East, the higher vision that comes. It's very interesting, isn't it? Again, I'm being shown both the higher vision, the standing back, the seeing the bigger picture, but actually holding your goals in sight, holding that, that's the nature of the eagle energy. The eagle can fly so high, they have a bird's eye view of everything, of the world. But they can pinpoint something on the ground, you know, a mouse or an insect or whatever it is. Their vision is razor sharp, and yet they have the bigger picture at the same time. And this is a space of extraordinary empowerment. It's time you are leaving something behind. I think if I'm honest, most of you will know what I'm talking about in the uniqueness of your individual world. The journeying within is interesting. Perhaps some of you do have to journey within, but if you're journeying within, I think you know what it is that's been dredged up. I think you know what it is that you are facing. The journeying within is removing any obstacles within you that stop you from making the adjustments necessary to hold your vision. I think you've been embracing the changes that are around you wholeheartedly, and in many ways this is almost whatever has happened in the periphery of your world, whatever's been dredged up, whatever has, I want to say almost, it's not imploded, that's not quite the right word. For some of you it might feel like something has imploded. It's more that something's crossed a boundary, it's entered, and it's shaken you up in some way. It has dredged something up, but there's real purpose to this because it allows you to lay it to rest permanently and for good. So very, very powerful reading. Very, very important time in terms of your own it's your own personal power. It's like you're stepping into a space where manifestation is becoming much more readily available to you. It's kind of almost like at your fingertips. When something is dredged up, remember it's simply being shown to you so that you may lay it to rest and move beyond. You are in a space of, you're moving into your own power. And that is absolutely magical in terms of your dreams, visions and goals becoming a reality. So stay focused, but hold the higher vision as well. Wonderful people. This reading itself is full of compassion as well. I'm really feeling as though there is an ability to stand back and feel compassionate to those who have not treated you very well, and yet also stand in your own power simultaneously. It feels a very, very magical turning point, and one that will lay a very solid foundation for you for the future. Very big respect, and beautifully in line with this magnificent energy of eclipse season and of transformation, which is really taking place throughout this month of December. Wonderful people, so much love to you, very big respect. It takes hard work to get to this kind of level of insight and awareness, so very big respect to you all. Anyone new to the channel, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you everyone who's also already following these readings. Guys, you're awesome. Hugely inspirational as well for me. But wonderful people, if you're new and you'd like to be in our monthly draw for a free private reading for a pack of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards, or indeed for the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon Diary and Journal, you will need to subscribe. It is a subscriber offer. If you press the little bell icon as well, you will get notification as soon as I upload any readings, and you will also need to add your name to the subscriber email list, which is in the information box below, and I'll put it in the comments for phone users as well. Wonderful people, have an amazing week. You guys are awesome. Tons and tons of love to you. Namaste.